The first step in threat modeling is to identify the threats, which could be a complex task to perform. There's a huge number of possible threats that could affect an information system or an environment, so it is recommended that an organization follows a specific approach in identifying the threats. The first approach is to focus on the organization's assets, which includes the data, the systems, the processes, and the personnel. The assets' values should be estimated, and critical assets should be identified. Potential attacks that could affect the assets, and in particular the critical assets, should be analyzed for probability of occurrence and impact. For example, assets hosting sensitive data should be evaluated against attacks that seek to bypass the authentication and authorization measures. The second approach is to focus on the potential attackers, where some organizations might be able to identify the type of attackers that could potentially target them. This is possible by identifying the potential goals of the attackers, such as a government services facility, who could be targeted by attackers aiming to disrupt its services, or a nation-state being targeted by another adversary. The problem with this approach is that new attackers could come into play that weren't considered in the threat identification. The third approach is to focus on software, which is an approach followed by companies that develop their own software or offer their own services and solutions. Many organizations host their own web servers, or offer online services and applications. Such organizations could follow this approach to identify the threats that could cause harm to their software, and eventually to their customers and users.